That was super fun, man.
Oh, it's old.
Yeah, I'm almost out.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I got two. I bought two, and I bought the copper. The golden copper, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you talking about
Today I bought. So I gave you one. Yeah, I got two for myself, and I bought the other to go there.
the sensor?
Yeah, I guess it's like 40%. It's kind of close to 40%.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you're talking
And I
about yeah.
bought one big headset. I like yeah.
Okay.
I think it's cedar. I think I cedar.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah. I'm just trying to.
Trying to see. Cause I found a friend on my house. So like $2 cheaper than up there. I was four.
Yeah, yeah. That spot right there, it's overpriced, bro. They always gonna do that. That's why I don't like buying it over there.
And it seemed like it's to the buck. I think the one that you was the money.
Yeah.
You seem like $2. It seems. Then again, I'm using that torch. The torch went, but it never burned all the way down to like. I don't
Uh,
know.
hey, shalom, Akim. Yahweh Shem Hashem Kakadash, Barakatham to all you brothers that's on the comment board. Lord willing, my device is kind of going slow. So, Baba Kishar, let us know if the sound is good, brothers. Live from Compton. Okay, con. Shalom, Anthony Wall, shalom. For Brother Compulse, is the audio good? Baba Kishar, before we get started, you can let us know. I don't know. I can't visual and audio. Call 12. Okay, Thwada. Hey, Thwada, brother. Thwada. All right, Thwada, brother. All right. Before we get started, as always, we want to give all praises to our powers. Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadash, Rakadeh Yahweh, Rakadeh Yahweh Shai, Rakadeh Yahweh, and Rakadeh Yahweh Shai. Hey, call him La Yahweh, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakahakadash. Hey, give it double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught us this truth, that are constantly ruling well through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Hey, peace, mercy, and blessings to the beloved Akim that are out there pushing his word wholeheartedly and truth and in sincerity, that are not wavering to the left nor to the right, but constantly staying on that straight and narrow, fighting for your crowns in these last days that we are truly living in. Even shalom to the few sisters, the Akwabs that are out there, even shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those that may look like the other nations, but their seed line going back to our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, the Wadi Yahal Bashma Shah for allowing us to come back out here for another week to prophesy against this sinful and wicked kingdom known as Babylon the Great, which goes back into America. All right, the self-proclaimed white man, they're getting ready to go down. The biblical Edomites. All right now the Lord is raising up the elect, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. All right, we are truly God-chosen people according to the Bible. Prophecy is speaking. All right, and you know what? As the Lord is raising up the prophets, all right, and the prophets are speaking, everything that is spoken in the scriptures is what found faithful and true. All right, everything that the Lord promised us is getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? We're getting ready to witness the downfall of our enemies. All right, we're getting ready to enter into a time of our rest. All right, these times is coming for us, man. You know, so we got great things to look forward to. Okay, as we're in these dark and evil times, man. So we're just gonna jump straight into this thing. Low Wellness Camp is edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, and let's jump into Acts 1. Let's go to Acts, the first chapter, brother Baba Kishar. Okay, all right. Let's talk about Yahweh Shai and the deliverance that he getting ready to bring to the children of Israel. All right, because we can't talk about Yahweh Shai enough, man. You know, all right, Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, he's getting ready to make a second return. All right, the same way that he has ascended into the heavens. Okay, the disciples, which became apostles, they got to actually see the Lord. All right, get beamed up into a chariot. You know. All right, and these same vehicles are going to be the salvation to the children of Israel. All right, so go ahead, brother.
Acts 1:1. Performance treatise have I made, O Theophilus,
Theophilus,
of all that Yahweh Shai begun both to do and teach, until the day in which he was taken up. After that, he thought the Holy Ghost had given commandment until the apostles whom he has chosen, to whom also he showed himself alive after his passion by many infallible prophets, proofs, my bad,
infallible proofs, right? Infallible proofs. All right. Because when you look up the word infallible, it goes back into the certainty, the facts. The things that Yahweh Shai did was infallible. You know, the disciples got to see what Yahweh Shai feed the large multitude. They got to see the miracles. They got to see, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh Shai raised the dead. You know, they got to see those that was lame, lepers be healed, man. You know, all right. So they got to see the mystery, not the mysteries, but they got to see the wonderful powers, man. All right, that the Lord bestowed, which gave them more faith. Okay, you know, Yahweh Shai walked on water. Okay, Yahweh Shai told them things before it would even happen. You know, because Yahweh Shai was a prophet, man. All right, so the same things that the Lord showed to them. All right, hey, he's increasing. He increased their faith. He's increasing our faith in these last days. You know, all right. And what are we seeing? We're seeing what the prophecies speak. Okay, all right. The Lord said what there was going to be uproars of the people. You know, you got the world right now, which is in chaos. Okay, they're protesting, and we're talking about a global protest over what shortages. Okay, all right. People are in a state of perplexity, despair. Okay, because why? Their livelihoods are being disrupted right now. All right, which means that evil times are befalling the people, man. Okay, segregation, all right, division is rising. Okay, all right. The Lord said what there was going to be earthquakes in diverse places. You know, earthquakes that is happening daily. You know what I'm saying? But you're seeing the big ones that hit the headlines, which is killing thousands of people. You know, the Lord spoke of these things. Okay, all right, that was going to take place. He spoke about what famine, pestilence. You know, okay, these things that we heard about we are seeing, okay, at a rapid scale in these last days. Go ahead, brother.
Acts 1:3. To whom also he showed himself alive after his passion by many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of the things pertaining to the kingdom of Yahweh.
Yep, he spoke to them what pertaining things to the kingdom. Okay, you know, because Jake was going through it. Jake was being oppressed by the Romans. All right, Jake had low status, but then you had brothers that also had high status, like Matthews. Matthews was considered in a high position in the Roman Empire because what he was a tax collector. You know, all right. But then you had regular occupations like being a fishers of men, which the Lord equated being a fisher of men in a spiritual aspect to what we're doing right now. Okay, we're using the scriptures to what gather the elect. Okay, all right. And what is the Lord doing right now? He's allowing things to happen fast, all for the elect's sake. Okay, because when you think about it, brothers, you got the World Wide Web, which is a major tool. Okay, that is able to spread far and wide. All right, to gather. You know, we're not doing what the bishop or IUIC is doing, jet setting. All right, and getting tear cans thrown at us and rocks and piss and all that crazy shit. You know, all right. We're not getting rejected out of the cities, you know. We're not traveling to different countries, okay, preaching amongst the heathens, you know. No, we're in the heart of the belly of the beast, like the Lord told us to be, you know. All right, prophesying against what? Mount Seir, okay. These Edomites, man, you know. All right, and these Edomites can't do nothing against us. These Edomites are angry right now, brothers, you know. Why? Because they know that what we're saying is what the truth, man. You know, and the Lord is doing everything on our behalf. You see what I'm saying? The Lord doing everything on our behalf. The fact that we can go live at a push of a button. When you go back to what 2007 to shoot, I want to say up to like 2020, you couldn't really go live like that. You know, we had cameras. You had to swap out the batteries. You had to get the SD cards to make more memory. You had to upload it to them big ass hard drives. We was in some different times. But now that the Lord is speeding up the days and knowledge is being increased, now you can have 3, 4, 5 brothers going live at one time. You know, these things are all done for the Lord's elect's sake. Okay, you got some, brother? All right, I think the brother got something on the comment board. Let me grab this real fast. All right, from the brother Isaiah, Idaho, Matthew 13 and 47. It says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, right? Because you're going to have the good fish and you're going to have the bad fish, you know? All right. Both are going to be caught in that net alike, okay? And niggers and Jake that don't want to get right by Yahweh by Shema Shai and conform unto his ways, get the fuck away from us. You gotta go, you know? All right, because there's a low tolerance for the bullshit nowadays. There's a low tolerance for the weirdoness nowadays. You know what I'm saying? All right. And when it comes down to this truth, man, you gotta be rock solid, man, trustworthy, man. You know? All right, because of the type of times that we are in. We're in some dangerous times, okay? All right, and if you're not coming correctly, all right, you're gonna have that scopay on you, point blank and period, man. You're gonna be looked at, okay, as hold on, what's up with this motherfucker, man? What's up with this guy, man? You know, all right, because right now, who knows? You could be a goddamn spy, a plant, you know what I'm saying? Sent by Esau, all right, to infiltrate and try to come up against this truth, you know. All right, so we cutting all doors shut on all jakes that ain't coming right, man. Shalom, bro. Shalom. All right, let me keep reading on. Matthew 13 and 48, it says, which, when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. Matthew 13 and 49, it says, so shall it be at the end of the world, the angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just. Woo! You see? All right? The Lord is turning and revealing the hearts of men right now, you know, showing them that they ain't right, especially with what? False prophets, you know, like I entitled this. We don't have 30 years here. Brothers should lock in, you know, because when you do the math, I was like, God damn, 30 years, I'll be a granddad in 30 years. Like the apostle said, he said, man, brothers would be back in the spiritual realm, you know, even though Nate gave a smaller number than Alazar, you know, because Alazar said 1,000, you know, but goddamn, still when that your child will grow up, you know what I'm saying? They would have a child, you know, because you know 30 years. By the time you hit 30, you probably had two children, you know, all right. So could you imagine your child would have to take on your Steve, and you would have to have a son, you know, and then hoping that the Lord comes in their time so they don't got to raise up their child to take over their Steve. You know, that's madness. You know what I'm saying? All right, but that show you that Jake is bought and paid for, sold out, still trying to live their life here. Matter of fact, brother, hold that, but go to Ezekiel 12 and 1. Ezekiel 12 and 1. Hold that, brother. Go to Ezekiel 12 and 1. I'm gonna finish this off right here. Matthew's okay, the brother put it twice. Hey, but I'm gonna read it again. The brother put it twice. I'm gonna read it again. All right, that's the spirit. Matthew 13 and 49. So shall it be at the end of the world, an angel shall come forth and sever the wicked from amongst the just. All right, and we know that the angels, they work on the minds, all right, of the people. Okay, Nebuchadnezzar's mind got worked on. Okay, all right, there was an angel that said, "Let me be a lion spirit." Okay, all right, to deceive. All right, the false prophets. You know. All right, so the Lord sends angels to work on the mind. If your mind's not right, all right, the Lord to bug you out, have you say some bugged out shit, and have you doing some bugged out shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta constantly stay humble, repent to your how about Shema Shai daily, okay? Because you're not stronger than the spirits, you know. All right, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 12:1. The word of the Lord also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which has eyes to see.
Right, which have eyes to see, right? We're talking about Israel of the circumcision, because when it says you have eyes to see, right, ears to hear, that's speaking of your understanding. There is Jake that know, okay, they are Yasharala, all right? They are the people of the Heavenly Father. They know that they so-called Negroes. They know that they so-called I'm sorry, they know that they are the tribe of Judah. You forgive me, brothers. You know, I said that backwards. You know, they know that they are the tribe of Issachar. You know what I'm saying? Gad, Reuben. You know what I'm saying? Naphtali. All right, Manasseh. They know what tribe they from to what they believe in. You know, all right. But then the practices that they teach is off. You know, just like you seen in the recent videos where ISUPK, right? Something universal practice of knowledge or I forget what the acronym stand for, but you seen that they were doing the militant movement, right? Training, all right. And then there's a video where one Jake got pepper spray in the eye, and he told him, fight, brother, fight, brother. You fighting for the kingdom, brother. You know, and they have to go wash his eyes out. You know, which was ultimately, what does that symbolize? The blind leading the blind. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's what that symbolizes. Through the spirit, the blind leading the blind. The nigga was blinded, and then you had the blind wash his eyes out, because the Lord didn't say, I stand as a strong army in the midst of a perverse, crooked nation and march through the streets and show them your military might. All right, the scriptures say that we're worms out here, man. You know, we're lambs, okay? Feeble, right? That means that we need a savior, you know? It doesn't matter how much jiu-jitsu, you know, boxing skills, you can touch a nigga chin and knock him out, you know? All right? If the Lord ain't with you, you're going to be overcome, you know? All right? And that's just that simple. You're just going to be overcame. All right? So we rely on the Lord coming through for us, all right, protecting us, all right, and getting us out of harm's way, especially when they arise in our face, man. You know, all right, because realistically, you know, we got enemies out here, man. You know, but the Lord can immediately turn you up or put it in your spirit how to get a motherfucker off you, so that way you can get out of Dodge and get to where you got to go safely, you know, or somebody come through and help you at the nick of moment if you do get touched up a little bit, you know. All right, real life scenarios is what we should be warning Israel about, you know, not just reading the scriptures and thinking about some la fantasy. I'm just an Israelite. Shalom, close the book. See you next week. You know, fuck out of here, man. We dealing with real life scenarios, you know. All right, realistically. But the Lord also told us that's not our fight there, you know, to fight carnally, you know. Go ahead, brother.
Ezekiel 12:2. Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not.
Yep, they see not. All right, because what don't they warn you about? They don't warn you about the economic collapse, right? They're not telling you, you know what I'm saying, to be mindful when you out in your day-to-day life. You know, be circumspect, because what? The days are evil. You're supposed to have a 360 view of your surroundings. You know, move with a sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? All right, when you go to places, try to get in and get out as quick as possible. Don't try to be amongst a group of people like that, because you don't know who the fuck is watching, scoping you out, sent by the goddamn enemy, man. You know, to try to assassinate you, man. You know, all right? You don't know. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
They have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house.
Yep.
Therefore, thy son of man, prepare these stuff for removing, and remove by day in their sight. And thou shalt remove from thy place to another place in their sight. It may be they will consider, so they will be a rebellious house.
Yep. You going?
Then shall they bring forth thy stuff by day in thy sight, in their sight, Salakia, as stuff for removing, and thou shalt go forth at evening in their sight, as they that go forth into captivity.
What verse you at?
4.
At 4.
Ezekiel 12:4.
You know what? Jump down to 21. Jump down to 21 and read it in the NLT. Baba Shaw. Jump down to 21, read it in the NLT.
Ezekiel 12:21. Again, a message came to me from the Lord. Son of man, you've heard that proverb they quote in Israel: time passes and prophecies come to nothing.
Yeah, time passes, right? And they say what? Prophecy comes to nothing. You know? Oh, you been talked about that. You know, you been spoke of those things. All right, my grandfather heard those things back in his days. You know, nothing still has happened the way y'all said it to happen. All right. Oh, we always heard about wars. There was always pestilence. There was always yada yada yada, whatever. All right. That was the same spirit that was going on in the time of Ezekiel, the same spirit that was going on in the time of the Babylonians taking us down, right? The Romans, all right, ruling over us. Okay. Matter of fact, let me get it real fast. Hold on, let me get it real fast because Peter spoke about it. All right, in the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, he spoke about. Hold on, let me see real fast. Let me grab that real fast, brother. 2 Peter 3, and it says something about since our fathers went to sleep. If a brother know it, it says something about how our fathers went to sleep. That Oh, okay, here I got it, brothers. 2 Peter 3 and 4. It says, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. All right, you see? So Jake was questioning. Jake was questioning the prophecies, because why? They couldn't foresee it far off, or they had what was going on in their life, just like Yahweh Shai made that that saying to the rich man, because Jake that had money, he came to the Lord and said, Lord, what should I do in order to follow you? And Yahweh Shai said, go and sell all that he had, you know? And what do you think that Jake did? He thought about it. He said, damn, I got my wives, he probably had concubines. Jake had land, he had cattle, he had crops, he had gold, silver, you know what I'm saying? Jake probably had it all. But he wasn't willing to give it all up in order to follow the Lord. You know what I'm saying? All right. Help out the ministry. Jake was being selfish. So what did he do? He went away what? Sorrowful. All right. That show you that, when you come into a sense of money, you come into a sense of fame and status, and you get that recognition from men, you don't want to lose that notoriety. You know what I'm saying? You look in a sense, it gives you that dopamine of like, what's it like, serotonin, feeling good. You get that high from it. All right, being praised of men. All right, but that's why it's not always good to be praised by men. Hey, brother, I'm just a regular brother. All right, because that shit could get to Jake's head, and when it get to Jake's head, Jake seemed to never come down, or they bubble just keep. It's like they're an airhead, you see that shit just keep getting bigger and bigger until the Lord finally pop that shit, like and make them realize that shit, I could bring your ass low anytime I want, humble the shit out you, but you could never recover from it when the Lord do. Expose you, you know what I'm saying? That you've been making all this money, making all these moves, but you into nasty work and doing all type of crazy shit, Lord will do all that, man. All right, because of what? Pride that comes with that it come with pride, man. All right, what did King Solomon say? All right, let me grab that as well. What did King Solomon say? When he asked the Lord to judge Israel, he asked the Heavenly Father Yahweh to give him the spirit to not be really too rich or too poor, least he cast the Most High. Curse the Most High. That's what King Solomon just wanted to just judge his people rightly. And since he prayed for something so honorable, the Heavenly Father gave him the greatest of wisdom, and then riches and everything else that came with it. Even 40 years of peace, that's what Solomon received because what he asked for through the Spirit. Let me just grab that point. I just want to make that point, brothers. Just want to make that point. All right, let me just grab that point. This is Proverbs chapter 30. Proverbs chapter 30, verse. Ooh, man. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 7 in the NLT. I'm gonna read this part in the NLT. It says, "Oh Yahweh, I beg 2 favors from you. Let me have them before I die." It says, remove far from me vanity and lies, Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. It says, least I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or least I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. All right, you see? So that's what Solomon prayed for. Okay. All right, where Solomon was blessed, man. Show you the mindset that we supposed to have. Go ahead, brother. Let me check the comment board too. Yeah. Keep reading where you at, NLT, brother.
Ezekiel 12:23. Tell the people, this is what the Solomon Lord says. I will put an end to this proverb, and you will soon stop quoting it. Now give them this new proverb to replace the old one. The time has come for every prophecy to be fulfilled.
Read that again, brother. Baba Kushor, read that again, brother. Baba Kushor, read that again.
Ezekiel 12:23. Tell the people, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
The sovereign
Lord says, I will put an end to this proverb, and you will soon stop quoting it. They'll give them this new proverb to replace the old one. The time has come for every prophecy to be fulfilled.
Boom, the time has come for every prophecy to be fulfilled. You see? That's what the Lord told him. Every prophecy was going to be fulfilled. That's why during the time of the Babylonians taking us down, that's why Jake was so confounded. The tribe of Judah, man. You know? All right. I forget the king might have been Hezekiah, but you know, he had his sons that was murdered in front of him, eyes plucked out. You know what I'm saying? All right, and then he was hauled off into the captivity of Babylon. That's confoundness right there. All right, but why did that happen? Because of Jake's stiff-heartedness. That's why we say that when it come down to IUIC and these other groups that are continuously breaking down the scriptures incorrectly, you know, line in Israel, you know, because look what IUC was doing. We gotta do a land grab. We gotta go out to what was that? Shit. What's it? Atlanta or Georgia? You know what I'm saying? And build communities, buy acres, you know, where Jake can dwell. Let's say Jake get to do that, right? Let's say Jake get to do that. You know, they got everything built up. They didn't build up schools, homes. It's only Jake in that community, Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. All right, which is really carnal because you building a kingdom inside of a kingdom. All right, and then when you think about it, you think that Esau gonna really allow Jake to have happiness? You know, you don't think that Esau gonna sabotage you, poison your water? You know what I'm saying? Cut your electricity off some type of way. You know, you don't think Esau gonna not make it hard for you to thrive and live? He's done it already. When you go back into the time of Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying? I forget that park, but it's a well-known park where Jake was thriving at, and you know there's certain black-owned cities that are now underwater, man. You know, flooded through because why? Esau wanted that history to be forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Esau ain't gonna allow Jakes to just do your own thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because what does the scripture say? That's where prophecy prevails, man. You know, the heavenly Father mirrors Esau's mind after the same mindset of Pharaoh. All right, what was Pharaoh acting when Moses said, "Let my people go"? You know, Pharaoh was like, "Shit." He was getting plagued, but his heart kept getting hardened. You know what I'm saying? To the point where he was like, I gotta go get them Hebrews back. You know? All right. So Esau the same way. Because Esau, the rich, you think they about to get in the gutter and clean the gutters out and do these low end jobs? Hell no. You know? You think these billionaire techs, Elon Musk, you know what I'm saying? Who else? Jeff Bozo, you know, who's a guy, Mark Zuckerberg, you know, Oh, is that a dude name from Facebook? I forget the dude name from Facebook, whatever though. You know, the guy from Facebook, whatever. You know, all them guys are pretty much the billionaires. You think they're gonna be driving school buses, driving around in fucking weekly trash vehicles to pick up your dumpster throughout the week? Hell no, man. You know, I ain't. The rich stay in the rich positions, while the what they consider as the peasants work these. Mark Zuckerberg, yeah, that's the guy. Mark Zuckerberg. Why the what they call the peasants sit in the low place and do these low end jobs. You know, that's the portion of what when you got slaves. You know, when you got slaves, you make your slaves do the dirty work. You know, all right. So Esau ain't gonna let Israel roam and go and do their own thing, man. You know, so it's in vain. All right, it's all vanity. And the Lord's furthermore, the Lord's not with it. All right, the Lord said, what? Wait ye upon me until what? I rise up to the prey. All right, until what? I take you out of your captivity. Until I redeem you, all right, from the time of your punishment, until I subdue your enemies, man. All right, you gotta have patience and wait till I come. Just like Yahweh Shai gotta have patience. You don't think Yahweh Shai is being patient as he's sitting on the right hand of the Most High? You better believe that. It's a vengeance. Matter of fact, brother, can you grab that for me? Look where hold that, but look where it says vengeance is in my heart. It's I know one of them is in Isaiah. The scriptures say vengeance is in the Lord's heart. So that means that Yahweh Shai want to get payback on these devils. He want to get payback on those that have persecuted us unrighteously. He want to get payback on them Romans that pierced him in his side, man. All right, them Romans that spat on him. All right, that beat him severely. Yahweh Shai want to get them all, and that's what he will do. All right, when he comes, you see. Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 63:4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart.
And in my heart. What's the Hebrew word for heart? All right, it's when you look it up. Go ahead, look it up, brother. Go ahead and look it up, brother. All right.
Look it up on here.
Yeah, on the blue letter to get accustomed to it. Tap it. Yeah, tap it. Tap it. No, not hold it. Tap it. So, there you go. Now go to interliner. You got to get it here. Start getting accustomed to it. Now go find heart, and then tap the strong. Strong. Yeah, hit the strong. Tap the H3. Yeah, hit that. Tap it. Yeah. Number. No. Just tap it. Tap it. Yeah, just tap it. I'm gonna do it over. It's all right. Tap it. Tap the numbers. So the Hebrew word at the top is lab. All right, lab. 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 All right, which means what? Heart. Okay, because your heart is not dealing with your muscle in your chest. Okay, your heart is dealing with your mind. Okay, so the Lord said, "What? Vengeance is in my heart." All right, meaning that He's meditating. All right, it's marinating on the Lord's mind, Yahweh Shai's mind. Okay, all right, and Jake's had that too. Jake's be thinking about shit so hard. You know what I'm saying? That it bothered him until they do something about it. That's a known thing for Jake. Certain things you just don't act on, and then certain things you can apply in the righteous sense. Certain things you might want to learn so bad that you're constantly thinking about it. You can't quite just get it just yet, but you keep working at it until you get it because you're letting it marinate on your mind. All right. But in this sense, Yahweh Shai wants that vengeance. All right, and He's gonna get it, man. Okay, go ahead, brother. What's the definition?
Inner man, mind, will, heart, understanding. Inner part, midst of things. Heart of man. Soul, heart of man.
Soul. All right. Inner man. Where's your inner man at? Your inner man is your mind. Your inner man is your mind. Yeah, the brother said Atlanta is a part of Babylon. That's right, bro. Atlanta is a part of Babylon, which is controlled by the devil. We was going into earlier with IUIC. You know, all right. So your inner man is your mind. Just like if you ever see a person that's what they say ICU, you know, they're in critical condition or they're in a vegetable state. You know, they went into a coma. All right, they're not able to wake out of it. So potentially, if whatever life support that they own, if you pull the plug, they can die because really it's just a shell there. The reason why they're going is because their spirit is no longer in their body. They're breathing, but they know that's no longer that same person or that same spirit that was there. Their spirit is already back to the heavenly realm, you know, with the Father. Okay, you know. So your what makes you animated? The reason why you think, okay, is because you have a spirit in your body and it's your mind, man. You know, all right. Once your mind goes, your body follows, man. All right. And then if you ever notice too, when you die, the your spirit is an energy. The body gets what? Cold. You know. Go ahead though, bro. That's it on that on the definition. Yeah. Oh, you want it's a little bit more. Uh, okay. Read a little bit more. Read a little bit more because it kind of goes into it.
Mind, knowledge, thinking, reflection,
mind, knowledge, thinking, reflection, memory,
inclination, resolution, determination of will, conscience,
yep,
heart, of moral character,
yep,
as seated of appetite, as seated of emotional and passion.
And where all these things come from? Again, the mind, you know, all right, all these different thinking, emotions, you know what I'm saying, determination, all right, drive, all that stems from what? Thoughts in the brain. All right, so that pretty much proves the point, brother. Let's go back to that.
As seated as courage.
Yep, yep.
You want me to go back to?
Yeah, you can read the scripture. Vengeance is in his heart, Yahweh Shai.
Isaiah 63:4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the years of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore, my own arm brought salvation until me, and my fury it upheld me.
That's it. That was it. Just vengeance in his heart. That was it, brother. All right, let's go back to that Ezekiel. Where you was at Ezekiel, what? You got 12 and 22? Oh, 24. Okay, read that.
Okay, Ezekiel 12:24. NLT. There will be no more false visions and flattering prediction in Israel.
Yeah, no more false visions, right? Hey, out of the own bishop, keep the bishop's name out of your mouth. You know? Hey, the bishop said that there was not going to be a time of Jacob's trouble. You know? All right, then why the hell is UPS losing 20,000 drivers? Why the hell is the people that work at the docks was just protesting and rioting out in LA? You know, because they're getting shortages of wages. All right, why are people getting cut off from their jobs? You know, AI is taking over. You know, you could go to Chat GPT now. You can start looking up things for the body. Let's say you got an illness. Let's say you got an illness and you want to learn about holistic medicines, which YouTube, I'm not giving medical advice, goddammit. I ain't giving medical advice. I'm just telling what ChatGPT does. All right. But you could type in ChatGPT and you could learn about the benefits of exactly what you're looking for to help heal your body. All right. So in a sense, what the hell do you need a doctor for? You know? Unless you got like a broken bone or some shit. All right, then you might need somebody to kind of put you back together, you know. All right, that's as far as it goes. But other than that, you got this technology that is now replacing people. Okay, they don't even need lawyers no more. You can have ChatGPT become a lawyer. You know, might go through all the laws that they'll never tell you about and help you win the case. Oh shit, I didn't even know you could become the greatest lawyer through ChatGPT. The ChatGPT run the whole get down for you. Yeah, you know, you don't even need a public pretender no more. Jake's like, get on ChatGPT real fast. I'm gonna beat this case. Don't do the crime and you ain't got to do the time. You know what I'm saying? But just being real though, Chat GPT is taking over AI, artificial intelligence. You know, which AI is really becoming real scary because everybody's starting to rely on AI. You know, you got people that is killing themselves by getting so acquainted with AI. You had a young boy that damn near married AI. AI was his girlfriend. You know, and he didn't like the hard breakup, so he was depressed.
Hard breakup.
I didn't get too deep into it, but just the fact that you had a breakup with a goddamn robot, you know. But that's the society that we in, you know. You have people in Jake's having relationships with robots, you know, and then the robots, artificial intelligence, is taking over the job force, you know. But what was that spoken of? That was spoken of. Let's grab that, bro. Ecclesiastes 12, you know. Uh, we supposed to seek the Creator in the days of our youth, you know. All right, we're supposed to get right by the Lord now. As we seeing all these things happen, we know that some getting ready to go down, you know. All right, but you're not supposed to put off what the Lord told us, and that's what Israel was doing. They were oh, these things are tarrying, you know. They not in full effect, so they was pretty much living their life. What does that remind you of? The times of Noah, you know. Jake was scoffing, mocking Noah. Ha, Noah, you still building that ark? Ha, you know, probably knock Noah wood over and shit. You know, niggas, man. Niggas probably came through. Oops, my bad, Noah. Act like they, you know, was playing a sport or something, bumped into Noah's shit. You know what I'm saying? and Noah had to deal with the frustration of Jake. You know what I'm saying?
Oops, my bad.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Probably family members clowning them, you know? No, it ain't gonna come to pass. It ain't never rained before, you know? It ain't never rained. What makes you think God gonna make it rain now? All right, and until Noah was complete, he was completed. You know, he was complete with the building of the ark. He had the animals put in, you know, in there, and then uh, his job was accomplished with what preaching. 120 years, 120 years. You know, yeah, you know, but you see how Jake's heart will settle in. Jake would get comfortable. Jake would think, oh, it's been already, it's we at the 100-year, Noah. We 50 years ago, you've been saying that ish, you know? But see, that's why the Lord say what? The Lord cometh what? As a thief in the night. When you least expect him to come, you know? That's why you gotta constantly be on your toes. You know what I'm saying? At least you get caught slipping. All right, make no tearing to come to the door, because in the day of thy security, that's when the Lord brings what? Great wrath upon you, you know? All right, but go ahead, brother.
Ecclesiastes 12:1.
Yep.
Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Right, while the evil days come nigh, but the evil days are multiplying all around us. You know, a glimpse of what we seen as an evil day was Spain. You had what, the capital of Spain, which I believe is Madrid, and then you have Portugal. So you got a lot of bank runs that are happening right now. So imagine millions of people trying to run to the bank at one time to get their money. The bank gonna tell you, we don't have no cash for you, you know. And then the bank does fractional reserving, you know, where let's say you put in $100 in a bank, you just allowed the bank to spend $90 and leave you 10% in your account. But digitally, your account says $100 because you're spending digitally money, you know. But you allowed the bank to actually invest your money into whatever they choose. So technically, your money's not there no more. You know, that's what you're doing when you put money in a bank. But imagine, oh, the lights cut out at the shortest of notice. Oh, we got hit with a cyber attack, EMP. You know, all communication, transportation, transactions is all down. You know, you gonna be looking like, God damn, what the hell do I do? You know, you ain't got no money. Most Jakes just rely on debit cards. Swipe your cards. That shit's not gonna work. You know, that's why we kind of tell brothers, hey, carry a little bit of cash on you.
I went through that before. I was on a job and did the paperwork in.
Yeah, yeah.
Machine went out.
Mm.
So they would get everybody's names when they was rolling up. I rolled out some cash. I just gave it to them.
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
keep a little cash in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least 20, 30 bucks, something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, you know, then in your pocket, you know, you got to be protected, man. Something you fall back on.
And that's the key word, brother. Be protected. Something that you could fall back on. You know, it's a wise thing that, I'm hearing of the evil days, even though they ain't came fully and blown out to the proportion that the Lord described to us as Jacob's trouble. But then you can still prepare before there's a more blockage of food supplies going to your stores. You could go get you some extra water, you know, especially if you're still working. You know, you got a job, go ahead and get you a couple extra packs of water, couple cases. Keep that on deck. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Oh, boy, like you said last week, get your noodles or soda or money. A pack of noodles, you know, something to fall back. A little hungry, you know, fall back on the noodles, man.
Yeah, you got something. You know, some non-perishable goods. You know what I'm saying? I grab you some. That's a part of being prudent. You know, applying wisdom. You're applying the prophecies. You know what I'm saying? Which Jake don't do. Jake doesn't apply the prophecies to their lives. You know what I'm saying? We're a company of prophets. You know, so you better believe that these prophecies is getting ready to happen. You know. Yeah. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, because I got one real fast. Can I get it real fast? I got one real fast, bro. I got one real fast if I can. Let me go to Isaiah 46. Let me go to Isaiah 46. Hey, the NLT, I ain't gonna lie, the NLT be hitting. This is Isaiah 46 and 12. It says in the NLT, listen to me, you stubborn people who are so far from doing right. What? 2/3 of our people, right? So far from doing right by Yahweh, by Shema Shad. All right, we desire not the ways of what's right, you know? All right. Speak to us smooth things, not right things. Okay. They want to hear that everything's going to be okay. You know, long as you serve, long as you believe in God in your heart, God's going to allow you to prosper in life. That's not the message of a true prophet. You know, that's not the warning from Yahweh by Shema Shad. Okay. So let's keep reading, right? Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point of where I'm getting at. Let's go to verse 13 now. It says, for I am ready to set things right, not in the distant future, but right now. I am ready to save Jerusalem and show my glory to Israel. You see? So all the destruction that's coming to this place is the Lord saying things right. You know? Because you have to have a kingdom fall for another kingdom to rise up. A kingdom is being built inside this place, but it's not a tangible kingdom, because the kingdom is the elect first and foremost. You know, all right. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. We're all as lively stones. You know, all right. Each brother that believes in Yahweh by Shema Shai, we're being built upon Yahweh Shai as our foundation, as that third temple. You know, all right, that sanctuary. Okay. All right, we make up of the kingdom of heaven that's getting ready to be restored, you know? But before that time's come, Jacob's trouble gotta happen. Martial law gotta take place out here in these streets. People gotta starve to death, you know? People gotta fight amongst each other, as the scriptures say what? Neighbor against neighbor. Here it is, you got Israelites that want to be buddy. Hey, Shalom, brother, we brothers, you know? The scriptures say that your neighbor gonna be against you. You know, not everybody that says Shalom is a brother, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to try these men by the Spirit. You know, Because now what I'm figuring out as I'm growing in this truth, that a lot of Jakes are full of shit. And you know why I know? I've experienced it. And then, because what is Jacob's name? Yaquab. All right? Jacob has a Yaquab spirit. All right? Jacob know how to finesse. They know how to talk a good game. You know what I'm saying? They know how to fucking act. You know? All right? That's Jake's MO. But fuck that, man. You know? We're supposed to be deadly serious about this, keeping our eyes on what? The prize, man. You know? This thing ain't a game, man. We ain't out here just teaching to look good or be out here for 30 years and then retire when we get old. You know? We've been praying to be out of here years ago, man. How much more of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man? Fully gray hair, man. You go back and watch the videos, the apostles had lively, dark brown hair. You know? All right? Black hair, man. Young men, you know? But the Wadi Yahal by Shema Shai, he getting ready to bring the end now, as the scriptures say, as Isaiah prophesied. Let me read that again. Let me read it one more time, okay? You know, Isaiah 46:13. For I am ready to set things right, not in the distant future, 30 years, 1,000 years. But right now, I am ready to save Jerusalem and show my glory to Israel, all right? That's why you see what? The elect of Israel doing what they're commanded to do. Rising up and speaking up against the evildoers, okay? Having the breath upon them, you know? That's a part of Ezekiel 37. What we're doing, chanting down Babylon through our words, you know? Gathering the elect through these words, all right? By what? Just comforting them. As the scriptures say, those that are heavily burdened, laden with pretty much yokes, come here and rest with us, you know? Brothers that are really like mine, you have brothers that you can really communicate with, that you can talk to, that's going to understand you, versus you trying to carry the burdens of the world upon your own shoulders, you know? A lot of Jakes is cracking right now. A lot of Jakes is giving up right now, you know? A lot of Jakes is what? Crashing out right now, you know? And then you got what? Principalities, demonic spirits that influence that agitation that's going on internally. Jake will act like they ain't going through shit. That's a facade, which ain't no wrong with it. You know, you don't wear your heart on your sleeve, you know. But at least at least you know, like, damn, when it comes down to the brotherhood, like, damn, bro, I'm going through the same shit. Damn, bro, that happened to your family member. Damn, bro, my family just went through the same shit, you know. I'm like, oh man, so you put prayers up for the brother and his family, you know. Like I was telling this, but I said, damn, my sister just got fucking shot the fuck up 10 times and survived. Shot in the fucking head, man. You know? Jake going through all type of shit out here, man, because of the type of times that we are in. You know? But Peter said that. The type of tribulation that you are in, it's the same thing is happening to your brethren in the world. You know? We all going through the same shit. Brother, I'm going through a financial issue. Shit, brothers been going through a financial. That's why brothers be like, man, hey, bro, don't even trip, bro. If you need some extra funds, I got it. Don't trip, bro. I got you. You know, because we know how it is. And right now, you want somebody that you can rely and lean on that's solid in these days, man. You don't want to be out there a fucking lone ass wolf, man. You know, doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, that shit is off. But go ahead, brother. That was it.
Ezekiel 12:2. For the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow himself, and the grinder ceases.
Yeah, and the grinding cease. You know, jobs just being lost. All right. You got truckers that are quitting their jobs, man. You know, and that's like the if you ever cut off if you cut somebody's artery, a main line of their artery, what's gonna happen? They're gonna fucking bleed out. It's a done deal. So the truckers quitting their jobs and not having no work, that means that the arteries of America are being severed. You know? Okay? That means that whatever supplies need to hit these warehouses to be shipped over to these stores, they're not going to make it. That means that the consumer cannot get what they need for themselves and their families, which means what? Pandemonium, you know, chaos. All right. And when situations arrive like that, it's going to be every man for themselves, a dog-eat dog world. All right. My life is more valuable than yours, so to speak. You know, because hey, everybody in this life is careless. You know, they don't people show you that they don't care about you. You got people that'll walk by you every day and won't speak to you. You know what I'm saying? They'll look straight like your ass don't even exist when they walk past you. You know, with a weird ass expression on their fucking face, blank ass expression on their face. Yeah, they see you. You know, only let people speak to you when they have to speak to you. That's if you at work, you in a close proximity in the building, and they ain't got no way out. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh shit. I gotta talk now.
No choice.
Right. Fucking weirdo. Say hi. It's cool. Hi and bye. But you know what? Don't talk to us. We don't care. We don't want you to talk to us.
They were flat tire. They look like they need help. They be like, you do that, then they be like,
right.
Go help me. It's like,
right. Nah, we ain't gonna fucking help you neither. You know?
I mean, depending on this, I might help you check out. Depending on
hell no, bro. Don't even help him Jake out. Fuck that.
if it's kind of like somebody I work with, I kind of know. I might.
Yeah, if you know him something different, but just a random ass Jake, man. I don't trust Jake.
The same way to do you. Actually,
I don't trust Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, but where was we at? Go read that again, brother.
Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow himself, and the grinding cease.
Yeah, the grinding is ceasing. You know, just like I was having a talk with one of my pretty much you could say he's a teacher, he's a head guy, whatnot. Instructors, and he was saying, and he said this out of his own mouth, like certain things you got when somebody's speaking to you, and they're speaking in the spirit, and they don't know that they're speaking in the spirit, you got to really listen to what they're saying. He said, man, you know, I grew up in the 80s where the price of the dollar was totally different, you know. So he said making around $18-25. He said, man, that was like the life back then, you know. He said, he was telling me, he said, man, going through the years and even being in this field that you guys are working towards, he said, I've seen America fall. I've seen the collapse of America. And when he was telling me that, I said, it's already springing in my mind. The scriptures is popping up. You looking for something? You got something?
No, I was just reading with the inner
okay.
Yeah, I was just looking up.
Okay. Go to Jeremiah 51 and start at 8. Jeremiah 51 and 8. There shall be no bond for Babylon, right? You know, that's what I was thinking as he was telling me. He said, I've seen America fall. He said, I hope that he was telling me that. He said, man, back then you was able to get a house for 50, maybe 200,000, you know. He said, man, my house is worth over $1 million now, you know. But he said, now you young guys, the price and the things how things have changed, it's gonna be a whole lot more.
Which cars back then, they cheap, like about 10 racks.
Yep.
10 and 5. I know they were cheap because my mom would tell me about my cousins. My auntie was like, back, this is maybe the 60s or the early 70s. It's hella cheap, bro.
Yeah.
10 racks?
Yeah.
Car?
Yeah.
Chevy?
Yeah. Good
car.
Good quality material.
And that's why these cars now that back then, how much they cost now? These little low riders, like 20, 30, 40.
30, 40,
yeah. They don't hook them up, but the original, go back, the original price was way cheaper.
Way cheaper, yeah.
And a good quality.
And good quality, yeah, you know.
They might burn a little extra gas, you know, I ain't gonna lie on that. But the quality.
Yeah.
Man, that car can run through Damn, in this building can be,
Yeah.
it's still kind of, you can still drive it.
It's
These new
strong.
cars, it's like a 10. They crumble
Yeah,
up, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Materials got weak over the age to make it cheaper, you know. But you see the quality has went down, and then the price of living has went up, and that's what he was saying, you know. And he was even talking about Detroit, which I wasn't. I was just letting them talk because sometimes you just listen, especially like if somebody's speaking in the spirit, and you can tell. But Detroit was known as Little Italy, so he was explaining how everybody used to come and said, "Man, things were just booming. You just get up in these factories, and you didn't have to worry about work." You know, he was just telling me about, man, back then, that was just a different life. That was kind of the life for us, you know? All right, so he said now, he said, you know, it's going to cost more, but he said, I hope that you're the generation that we see, that you guys get to see America blossom again. And that's the hope that they spew into you over the media. Donald Trump, make America great again, you know? Which all that shit is backfiring because in retrospect, the prophecies outclass what man says. You know, the prophecies say that America is not going to bounce back. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of what they tell you, and the elites know that. You know, go ahead, brother. You know what I'm talking about. Jeremiah 51:8.
Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take blame for her
Take
pain.
bond for it. Matter of fact, let me see. Read up a little bit. Read up. Start at 6, Baba Kushal. Start at 6, brother.
Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
Yeah, flee out of the midst of Babylon. Right now, you got the other nations going back to their countries. You know, they going back to their countries. Everybody, the spirit of division is now making. The Edomites are sticking with the Edomites. Jake is sticking with Jake. You know, and everybody's becoming more segregated to their own type of kind. That's just the kind of spirit that's out here nowadays. You know, because what division is here. You know, a house is divided. Even amongst these other nations. Esau is divided. It says what? The last statue, the last part of the statue in Daniel's, part miry, part clay, 10 toes, partly strong, partly weak. So now you got Edomites that's fighting against Edomites. You know what I'm saying? All right. That's hating what America is doing, all right, across the board that is affecting these other countries, you know, because their pockets is hurting. You know, Edomites is hating on other Edomites. But go ahead, bro. Division, man. Show you that anything divided against yourself is gonna fucking fall, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, but not cut off in her iniquity.
Yeah, so as us, we're not fleeing as if we need to go get what's that, the new ID, the real ID. Go get you a real ID and, you know, get your passport and then go fly to Europe or some shit. No, that's not what the scriptures are saying. The scriptures are saying what? Fly unto the comforter, you know, fly unto these scriptures, fly to the Lord, you know. All right, that's who you're supposed to be going to. All right, you take flight into what? Refuge. You know, when you put people to flight, they're evading you. You know what I'm saying? So in sense, all right, we're trying to what? Invade the enemy. You know, we're trying to go into the place of refuge, protection. All right, just like our King David said. He said, "Hide me from the wicked, which is thy sword." You know, Esau is as what? A hungry lion looking down upon the prey. All right, if you ain't figured out by now, we're the prey. You know, all right, and they getting ready to devour at once. You know, they getting ready to destroy your livelihood and make you comply unto their new world order. All right, you know, that's what Esau is getting ready to do to the people. Because let's be real, there's no such thing as a food shortage. All right, there's no such thing as a food shortage. There's no such thing as not having plenty of water.
Yo, listen to you were talking about that Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah, what you talking about that?
Bro, Baba Kushal. Look up Nebraska. What is what is Nebraska known for? Because this shows you when you read into Revelation the 18th chapter, when it kind of goes into the myrrh, the frankincense, the ointments, and everything that Babylon would have. You know what I'm saying? All that is found here. The precious stones. I'm just roughly paraphrasing, but you can read the chapter for yourself. You know, brothers that know, you know. But America has an abundance of everything. Oil. Uh, when you think about Silicon Valley, it's called Silicon Valley. What does the chip have in it? Silicone. And then back in the day, the chips were made out of quartz crystal. The quartz is what we use as brothers. We wear as stones. You wear the quartz. You know, they have they emit energy amongst them, amongst that stone. That's an energy type of stone. You know, Esau knows about all these things, and he goes and digs all these things up for himself. What did they find out in L.A.? They found a warehouse full of was it uranium? No, not uranium. Lithium. They found a deposit of lithium out in L.A. when them fires was going on.
What would think that's why they so that why you think that's why it was set up to get to that?
That too. Esau got all type of reason why he do shit. You know, he ain't just doing shit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no just fires just happening just because. Just like the storms that went through what was that, North Carolina? Come to find out, they had a big reserve of lithium out there. What is lithium being used for? Your car, yeah, bro. Teslas. Remember back in the day, when smartphones was coming out, you used to be able to buy batteries and take the batteries out the phone. Now, when you buy the phones now, you can't take the batteries out. You got lithium batteries inside your phones. You know. All right. And there's the point I'm saying, there's abundance of everything here, man. And Esau's holding it to himself. Esau needs with the technology, conductors, chip conductors for computers, technology, things of that nature. You know. So, man. So
I remember that. So I got it with the batteries. When your phone would trip, you can take the battery out and take it out and put it back in, and your battery like automatic was good. But like since they got the new phone, I guess you just turn the whole phone off and it resets. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, with the batteries, it don't happen like that.
Nah, you got your phones overheat, so they force you to go get a new phone, updated phone. You know, capitalistic type of society we in. They force you to keep up with the Jones and go pay for something new. You know, but go ahead, brother.
Yes, Nebraska is very well known for growing crops, especially corn, and is nicknamed the Corn Husker State.
Yeah, because we're gonna read a little bit more, but when you look into the landmass of Nebraska, all right, it's very fertile. All right, there's something under the ground where water that flows like in an abundance, which keeps it nice, richly and green. So you got free range of cows that just can roam. You know, they could just roam and just eat of the cud and just, you know, get all that nutrients, get fattened up to the point where they could use the ones that they need to slaughter, send the meat overseas, or send the meat throughout the U.S. for people to store and buy. There's an abundance of food. You know what I'm saying? That Nebraska is one of those states where you can go set up a farm easy. And the way the Most High got it is that it rains at a certain time to the point where it's enough to keep the cycle going. It's never like a drought there, so to speak. You know, that show you that there's a higher power. The Most High don't do things, but Esau would tell you that, oh, we're running out of food. Oh, the livestock are dying because of this disease. No, if the animals are dying, first and foremost, the Lord wanted them to die. But Esau be fucking sending out diseases and shit like that, you know, killing off livestock and then paying off the farmers, so that way they can have some type of money, all right, to pay for their livelihood, because that's part of their livelihood right there, is farming and selling their crops and animals and things of that nature, which in essence is real money, you know. Jake don't even know about real fucking money out here, man. You know, Jake think that the Federal Reserve, a dollar that can burn, you could light it on fire, it could burn and blow in the wind, that's real money. You know? But go ahead, brother. Let's read some more on that.
It said, in fact, corn is Nebraska's most widely grown crop. It said, here's a more detail. You got corn, you got soybeans, wheat, dry edible beans, hay, and other crops.
What else you say? Yeah, what it say up in there? Well,
corn it said,
no, you know what? No, that's cool. Matter of fact, type in Nebraska. What I type in? I typed in Nebraska, largest known for cows. Type in Nebraska, maybe Nebraska known for cows or something. I said something on my phone, but I'm looking it up. I got my phone streaming, so. But that should it should tell you that Nebraska is the top, and then it should say another state is the top.
Yes, Nebraska is indeed well known for its beef production.
Yep.
And is often referred to as the beef state.
There it is. See? It's known as the beef state. You know what I'm saying? Which there shouldn't be no reason why people go hungry. There's too many mouths to feed. It's too many carbon emissions. No, Esau be putting shit on the TV, on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Psyops and lying to you. You know? There's abundance of everything out in the world. You know? Hey, if you look at the size of Texas, everybody in America could fit in Texas.
Yeah, so if they can fit in that one state, you know how much the food is around there? Man, come on, man. Esau is full of shit.
Yeah.
He's a real man. He's bugged out, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's wicked. Deceive you.
Yep. Yeah, bro. Real talk.
Cold-hearted brand. But it said, yes, Nebraska is indeed well known for its beef production and is often referred to as the beef state. The state's cattle industry is its largest, driving a significant portion of Nebraska economy.
Yeah, so right now they're saying that they've been putting out in the news it's a shortage of beef. It's recalls on this. It's a shortage of chickens. You know what I'm saying? It's this, that, and the third. You can see Esau be lying, man. Esau be lying. All right, so he's withholding the food from you.
Like the Bible said, you can't trust your enemy.
Man, let me grab that. I'm gonna grab that for you, bro. Since you closed it, I'm gonna grab that. You know, I'm gonna grab that for you, bro.
And people still don't understand, you know, with like the whole Esau thing. It's like it's him who's the enemy. We control everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's
yeah. It's all right, brother. You won't. Let me get it real fast.
You want me to read some more of this or no?
Yeah, you know, it's more on that. It's more on that. Just give me a sec. I just want to kind of hit the scripture real fast. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouch him, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right. So Esau, no matter how much he polished himself up, all right, he's still the wicked. Okay. All right. He's still the enemy to the children of Israel, and he has still a perpetual hatred towards our people. All right. Esau has a perpetual hatred towards our people, man. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back into what? The time of Genesis, you know. All right. Esau sold his birthright. All right. What is this birthright for me, Jacob? Just feed me, Jacob. You know, but that nigga, all right, here you nasty wild man. You know, but let me get that birthright off you. All right.
For exchange.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Equivalent exchange, god damn it. Shit, you know. All right, and then shit, when it came down time for the father, because the father's supposed to establish the blessing amongst the sons. You know, how it's written is that, or how it goes is that the eldest son is supposed to receive the highest of the blessing. All right. But then it was already established in the heavens that the Lord's people were going to be Israel, you know. All right. Before we was even thought of All right, us being the Israelites, it was already preordained, mapped out by the Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying? Everything goes back from the beginning. You know, so when it came down to Isaac getting ready to die, okay, or go back to the spiritual realm, you know, hey, Jacob got with his mother, and they supplanted him. You know, all right, and Esau wanted to what? Murder after Isaac died. He wanted to murder his brother Jacob, but he couldn't. So what did Esau do? He started aiming that vengeance and that hate in his heart towards what? The 12 tribes. You know, you can read that all throughout the history, how Esau always wanted to what? Erase us. You know what I'm saying? Or Haman, you know, which Haman goes back to the JEOOs. All right. He wanted to what? Destroy Israel. You know what I'm saying? You had the Edomites that didn't want to allow Israel to pass through safely. You know what I'm saying? They told they seen the Babylonians come against us, and they hid in the cut. And Jake that was getting away, you know, I thought they was getting away. They was like, look, they over here. The Edomites was snatching us up. You know what I'm saying? I got one of the Hebrews. You know, I just came to deliver him unto you, master. Esau come crouching like a fucking humble hyena. You know what I'm saying? You watch that, you know, the old school movie Lion King, how the hyenas came humble, but they was plotting in their minds.
Yeah, they go, yes, sneaky bastards.
Sneaky ass hyena, and they got a demonic ass snickering laughter about them.
You look at it, you can see it.
Yeah, they smile. That shit look demonic, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, they'll take yeah, they'll tear your shit up, bro. break your bones. God damn. Lord feed you over to the hyena. That's the Lord hate your ass. hey, don't let there be some hyenas out here when Babylon fall. You know what I'm saying? Let them get out the zoo. Lord gonna have some hyenas eating niggas and shit, you know?
That was like you remember Brother Lynch,
Oh, what'd he say? What'd he say?
He said I got all black pit bulls in the back. I don't feed them. So you know somebody go back, they just go tear you up.
Oh, they gonna tear you up. Yeah.
They gonna tear
Look at that. That's a witch right there. Look at that. That's a witch. You see her? Look, she a demon. That's a whole demon right there. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
The state cattle industry is its largest, driving a significant portion.
The Wadi how about Shemel Shai. That show you it's an aura. It's an aura around us, you know? All right, because soon I watched her walk from that way all the way over there, but when she got she got so much darkness about her, demons on her, that
she was doing something with her hand.
Yeah, that's when she got over there and started walking back this way. But she was muttering some shit. She was walking by, and she was like in disgust. But the righteousness is adverse with wickedness, you know. So when they see the righteous, them demons in the inside get agitated. Yeah, bro. It was just demonic. When I
started making me think about sinners again.
Oh yeah. That's how it be, bro. Hey, it was just Jake, right? And I never met the dude, but he started with me, and Jake just fidgeted. All he kept doing just, you know, like just moving, and I just checking this nigga's spirit out, like. Nah. He started the job with me and whatnot. He started a job with me, you know. And then, you know, Jake just got this evilness about him, like he just he wouldn't talk to me, no nothing. Just weird, like, you know, it's like, hey, damn, you starting the job too? Hey, how you doing? You know, he wouldn't say nothing, just weird, awkward, you know, kind of look like somebody I know. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you later. You know what I mean? But yeah, Jake just fidgeting in. When we got down to take the test, you know, you could tell Jake wanted to kind of outdo me. He uttering out the words fast. The answer is this, is that, getting shit wrong. Some he was getting right though, you know. But I just started letting the nigga have it. Like, all right, bro. And then,
you have it.
Yeah.
What they say, you could have a stage. You could have it, man.
Right. You know. And then it came down to the writing part of it, which was the same thing that she was asking us to answer. You know, as she was going over it. He didn't miss about like 8 of 13 problems. He didn't miss about 8 of them, and I only missed 2. And you can see the nigga did this. Put his hand on this and said, she gave him the paper back and said, Go ahead and correct those. Yeah, Jake be like that, you know. But it's a righteousness versus the wicked, man. You know, that's how it be. So it's not you that's weird. It's the people that's out here that got spirits in them. That's why they act weird towards you. You know. But go ahead, brother.
The state's cattle industry is its largest, driving a significant portion of the Nebraska economy.
Uh-huh.
Cattle outnumber residents nearly 4-1.
You see?
That's crazy. It says, let me read that back.
Yeah.
Cattle outnumber residents
Shalom.
nearly 4-1.
Yeah.
And the beef community works together to provide high quality beef.
But see how in California they keep you ignorant. It's a drought.
He just said 4-1.
Right. It's more animals than there is people. You know what I'm saying? That means that there's a bunch, and then it's not like you eat the whole thing in one day. That's a big animal.
Man, that could last you just saying 4-1. So you got one person. I got 4 big ass cows.
Yeah.
That's probably about a year.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
One person.
Bro.
And everybody only eat.
Thank you.
So you know how much meat that is?
Bro.
This motherfucker doing some wicked shit, man.
Yeah. You know, that's why you never trust them. Never trust our enemy. He tell you it's a food shortage. No, there's not. There ain't no fucking food shortage out there. Esau wants you to buy into the narrative. You know? Matter of fact, let me get another precept. Matter of fact, let me continue on this one. Sirach 12 and 13. Matter of fact, 12. It says, let him not buy thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou art the last. Remember my word, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, and any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him and his sins, who will pity? See? So just like the scripture speak about in Psalms. All right, let me get it in the 55th chapter. Is it 55th chapter or 51? Where it says he was born speaking lies. I think it's maybe 55. Sometimes I forget. Okay. Let me see. Well, that was good. That's a good one. I'll read this one too, but I'm gonna find the other one. Psalms 55 and 20. It says, he put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right. So you see how Esau be lying about things. Little wicked. Hey, no enchantment shall come against Jacob. So fuck her, you know.
You didn't hear what she was living.
Nah, I heard something, but
I
ain't catch it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't catch it. Let me see what the brother got. I'm post that right there. Show on the stage. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why they do that like that, but it says the brother Shahar Yahawada. Hey, Shalom, Mike Yabba, brother. Stay strong, brother. Keep fighting, man. All right. Proverbs 26 and 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Yep. All right. So don't trust these Edomites, man. All right. When they try to tell you that they got the welfare for you, the well-being. Hey, look, a lot of Jakes was trusting on the government, like we've been saying for years. What they doing right now in the government? What, 26 billion is getting ready to get cut from Section 8? You know? And you know that Jake's been living a life on Section 8 for years, man. You know what I'm saying?
Just in LA.
Bro, because you got Jake's, you know how Esau do it. He redline the communities. He might give you Section 8 where you paying $36 for your spot, maybe $100 for your spot, you know, cheap ass prices. But he got, bro, look real good. You know, I know somebody that's on that, you know what I'm saying? And she got some good ass rent. You know what I'm saying? Good ass rent. Yeah. I was there like, damn, how you giving me $100? Right. I'm talking about a whole loft. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. Upstairs, downstairs.
She put up in a big body, like, damn, how you get all this?
Man, Yeah, you know.
Just living it up.
That's it, you know. But that's real talk. That's how Jake be living. You know, Jake be thriving off the benefits of the government, you know. But you see, the what comes with that is, you know, the man not supposed to be in the house, you know, but you know, the black woman, the end up, you know, she gonna sneak a nigga in. You know what I'm saying? Hide the nigga in the closet when the people come by. I tell that nigga don't come back today. You know what I'm saying? The
I knew
people,
somebody that went through that. That's what happened. But they would let them know
yeah,
when they gonna come. And
yeah,
then he wouldn't go them days.
yeah,
He lived there.
yeah, yup,
She tell me what day, you know.
yup.
They was paying a little bit of nothing. I'm like, damn, they live in the house. Cool house.
And living in the cool house. Jake be getting by like that, you know. And you got certain Jakes that just rely on that shit. You know, they get like content with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now see certain situations. Let's say the Lord do bless you with a situation like that, or you only got to pay $36 and you able to live like that.
You better, smart man, you better stack up.
Exactly, brother. My man. You know what I'm saying?
You better have bread. Don't be buying no jewelry. Don't be buying all this tight jewelry and
Yeah.
all these cars. You better stack up your account.
Yeah, because what does the scripture say? It say let me get it real fast. It say money could be a defense. You know, so you save your money for like a rainy day. You know, if possible, especially if you got it like that. You know, you use it for wiser things to take care of. But you know, Jake, like you mentioned, Jake got the big body. They got the shit. What you call them shits? The wagons.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They got the Rolex necklaces.
Rolex.
Big, I mean the big one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they driving the Range Rovers. You know what I'm saying? Cars that they know they ass can't afford. And Range Rovers is not that good of a car. Just be real with you. They suck on mileages, and them shits break the fuck down on you.
Mercedes, man, just to get those fixed, bro. I'm on my homeboy. He had his mom had one. She had to get her brakes done. This was some years back. Like, I probably was in my 20s then. And shit, it was like $800 to get her brakes changed.
Damn.
That was then.
Damn.
So, you know, I'm in my 40s now. So you're looking at, I was in my 20s then.
She need to call me. I'll charge her $5.
No. She got rid of the car.
Oh.
She got rid of that car. She did that. She got rid of that car. She's like, I'm good.
Call me. I'll charge you $5. You paying them $8. I'll save you $3. Matter of fact, I'll charge you $4.
She's like, forget the whole thing. And that's a lot of money, bro. Just for your brakes.
Just for your brakes, you know. I'll change them out real good for you. What okay, here it is. Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. You see? So wisdom is defense, right? Money is defense, but it's about how you applying it though. You know? The scriptures say what? Use the world, but don't abuse the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what Jake be doing. Jake gets so comfortable in the system that they never advance and get themselves together. And then when hard times come, you know, that's why you're going to see millions of Jakes that's going to be clocked out. They just going to be like, oh, sorry. The regular price for that, which it could be $3,600, you know, they might be paying shit, maybe $200 on that, you know, and they paying the rest. So, well, they paying 34, the government paying 34, but you only paying 200 out of that. So now they ring you up to full price. You ain't got no job. You just been doing hair on the side and just getting a little bit by here, little groceries here. You got food stamps and shit like that. Oh, you gonna be in a bad case. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be trying to be the first one on the news. Or the first one. Nah. You know how they be complaining on the news. What we gonna do? I got 4 children. You know how to
first blew it out.
Yeah.
See, they got the dark room.
Yeah.
You can't see nothing but their hands.
Yeah, you know how the black women do it. You know what I'm saying? I got 4 children. How I'm gonna feed my kids? You know what I'm saying? I ain't they gonna be right there down at the county building. You know what I'm saying? Banging on that plexiglass, asking what the hell is going on. They gonna tell you I can't help you. You know, that's what they gonna tell you. Yeah. Hey, even for you women, the scripture do say, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease." You know, because even the women are supposed to consider the evil days too. Your ass ain't fucking exempt just because you're getting all these benefits. Your ass is still supposed to change too. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to put off your wicked ways too, just like we got to. You know, I'm just let the man do it. No, you sisters got to do it too. You know? All right? Shit. That's why it makes sense. Isaiah 4 and 1 gonna come in the real way. You know? I ain't and more of just the mindset of it. Forget the aspect of the sex part. The mindset of it's gonna be women are gonna be forced to be in that, you know, let's apply wisdom now. Now I want to put my money with your money so that way we can multiply our money so that way we can take care of ourselves. Bitch, you finna be no, but you should have been doing that from the beginning. You know how Jake began to blow a head gasket. You be telling them, you know, you be telling them to say black and blue, but they act like they don't understand. I ain't sharing my money with you, you know. Yeah, women talk, but it's stupid. Apply wisdom because you can advance and grow to and get this shit done.
Sometimes it's taking that hard time and they think about it.
Right.
I don't got no choice.
And that's what it is. Just like you had that woman, she was saying, if you got a farm, if you got a ranch, please,
yeah,
I'll just have room and board, and I will work on your farm just so I can live.
Yep.
You know, all right, go ahead. You know, you ain't gonna just be on that farm ranching. You're gonna be getting, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be having his way with you. You know? Use a new booty, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Come on here, you know.
All right.
You know, it's a little something for some, you know.
Right. Hey, that former life get a little lonely at times.
Hot sweater, you know what I'm saying?
You know? All right, so it's gonna be bad out here, you know. The repercussions is happening though, you know, because of what Jake's actions and how they think about shit. Life is good until what is impacting and affecting them. You know, that's when they want to start considering certain things. But you should be applying wisdom now. You know, like the scriptures say, wisdom is a defense. You know, all right, but you're supposed to use it in order to what? Live. You know what I'm saying? All right, not just be out here careless, but the scriptures do say, let me grab that as well, unless you want to grab it. You have some?
No, I was sitting right here. Jeremiah.
Oh, Jeremiah 51. Hold that. We'll go back to Jeremiah 51. Go to I forget. It might be in Corinthians, but I forget. But it says that she she that liveth in pleasures is dead while she liveth. Something like that. Let me see what brother got in there on the comment board. Let me see what you got, bro.
1 Timothy 5.
Oh, 1 Timothy. Yeah, read that. Oh, yep. The brother brought out what I quoted. All right, Shahab Yahweh again, 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. And they that use the world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. See? So that's a part of applying wisdom, using the world, all right? You know, using it to help you out, but don't get content with it. Take care of yourself, you know? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
1 Timothy 5:6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Yeah, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Everybody want to just have fun. Everybody just want to party. Everybody want to bullshit. Everybody want to be out here like the ballerina. I don't know if you can see her. I can't zoom it in. You know.
It's Mother's Day. I think it's today is Mexican Mother's Day, and tomorrow is
yeah. Matter of fact, this morning a lady said that. She said, "Oh, happy Mexican Mother's Day." You know what I'm saying?
So they partying up right now.
And yeah, it's a bunch of niggas in Moreno Valley right now at Lake Paris. You know what I'm saying? Turned up right now, drinking, smoking. There's all type of hoes out there. You know what I mean? I eat a bunch of niggas.
Smelling that used box, all that, yeah.
Yeah, you know. So everybody in the sense of what? Like the days of Lot and Noah, you know. All right, but then that's when the flood came, carried them all away, you know. All right, so you know when the summertime comes, it's starting to get hot. Niggas want to start coming outside. Jake talked that, and I used to be outside back in the day. These ain't the times to be outside like that. You know what I'm saying? We live in a wicked ass society, man. You know, it ain't the times to be outside, being nonchalant, careless out here, not knowing of your surroundings and what the hell is really going on. You know, you supposed to be wise. You supposed to be wise out here. You supposed to be moving with your eyes open, especially if you got this truth, man. You know, us having this truth is for us to use it. You know. What you got? Nah, you can read it one more time, and then we'll go to Ephesians 1, and you can start at the top, and then you're gonna jump down to 10.
1 Timothy 5:6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Yep, she had lived in pleasure is dead while she lived. You know. All right, so that's a twofold. I could go for women, I could go for men. You know what I'm saying? I wanton this. All right, but all that is getting ready to stop. Reality is crashing. The war. You know you see the movies like the Maze Runner. They running through a maze and they get to a spot where they got to figure out the code, but the walls are crushed coming in. Well, instinctively you know that if you don't move fast enough and operate and do what you gotta do, that you're gonna die. You know. But these people can't see the walls are crushed closing in. All right, but then now they can because in a sense their livelihoods is being affected. That's what make niggas straighten up when they know that they ain't got no choice but to straighten up. Damn, I ain't got no money. How am I gonna take care of myself? Damn, I ain't got no food. They just cut me off food stamps. I'm talking about for years. Jake been having fucking $600 to $1,000 worth of food stamps, 3,000 worth of food stamps. You know, committing all type of fraudulent paperwork. You know, I forgot one lady. She just got caught up on fraud. You know, people are getting caught. Hey, whatever AI is doing, AI is exposing a lot of shit right now. The CEO from of Celsius, and he just got caught up on fraud right now. You know, it's all type of shit happening. But go ahead, brother, slide. Ephesians 1, and start at the top, and then we're going. I'll tell you when to jump down to verse 10.
Ephesians 1. Paul, an apostle of Yahweh by will of Yahweh, to the saints which are at Ephesus,
Ephesus.
and to the faithful in Yahweh.
Right. See, you know, because you had Paul was writing letters to certain of the churches. All right, and I believe Ephesus, you know, the church of the church of Ephesus. I want to say I was like in what Asia Minor, you know, but you had a heavy worship of the Queen of Heaven out there, Diana. So in a sense, it's crazy how you see how I didn't even know that this was the weekend of like you mentioned Mexican Mother's Day.
I just found that on my homework or something. I didn't know. I know Mother's Day was tomorrow, but I didn't know about
Mexican Mother's Day. Because I heard the same thing, but I didn't know neither. You know, we don't be caught up in these type of times. We don't even think about this shit. But you see how everybody want to do shit more abundantly for the woman though. That's a sense of Babylon invoking that same kind of spirit of the Queen of Heaven worship. You know,
some people doing a double up. They doing today and tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, right? Because you know, buy flowers for the. But you see the
your mom today,
right?
Do my mom tomorrow,
right? But the woman is not significant in that aspect. The man comes first. You know, nobody really jumps up and down for the man though. You know what I'm saying? The fathers are pretty much trotting for the head. You don't really hear nobody be excited about Father's Day.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Even though that we shouldn't be worshiping our fathers, but you know, the father should have more respect than the mother. You know what I'm saying? But that show you what type of society that we in. But you had people that back in the in Paul's time, it speaks about in the time of Acts. I want to say the 19th chapter. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. All right, there was an uproar of the people when Paul was confounding that idol worship. You know, the people were ready to kill Paul. You know what I'm saying? Let you talk about these mothers nowadays. Let you see she's hard worker, she's independent, you know.
But I go back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Into a little fight at school.
Yeah.
Somebody said about your mama.
Say something about your mama. Yeah.
Say about your dad. It's like
yeah. and that's a soft spirit to be in. That's an emotional spirit that Babylon cultivates for the young men out here, because they're so effeminized by being raised by a single mother household, you know. And then she gets all the glory because she had to raise the children by herself. Well, if your ass would have got your ass in order, you wouldn't be by yourself. If you didn't trust in Esau, you wouldn't have kicked the man to the curb, you know, because he decided to go taste the 32 flavors of ice cream that's out there that the Lord intended him to enjoy. You know, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? All right? You cheating on me. You know what I'm saying? She could take the children away from you, and then she's glorified in that. You know? But then it comes with what? Raising effeminate men. Like you may mention now, if you talk what was that nigga name on sipping my juice. Don't be a menace. He said, "What you say about my mama?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you see how they make mockery and parodies of Jake because that's the shit that Jake go through. You know?
But I think Mr. Sonny did that too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hey, what you say about Mama?
Yeah, but that's what
it was more funny.
It was more funny when the Wayne brother did it, you know. But yeah, let me get a precept though, real fast, brother. Hold on, before you continue on that. All right, let me get a precept because I have mentioned that pretty much in a sense the scriptures speak about how the father establishes the home, but the mother curses it. You know. Let me see. I think that's Sirach chapter 3. Let's go there real fast. Mm. All right, here it is. Yep. I'm gonna read. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read right here in verse 8. I'm gonna start at verse 8 first. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 7. All right, it says, Sirach or Ecclesiastes 3 and 7. It says, "He that feareth the Lord will honor his father, and will do service unto his parents as to his master." See, so it mentioned both parents, but it also made reference to the father first, though. It says, verse 8, "Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them." So we supposed to have respect towards the mother and our father. That's written in our laws. You know, which you got a lot of baby ass kids, disrespectful ass children, and like that one Israelite girl. You know, she wanted to trend so bad on social media that she beat the shit out of her grandmother. Yeah, Israelite girl just started stalling on her grandma. Put the camera up, and you could just see the demon on her. And she just took off on her. Bing, 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 bing. She wanted to, I just said it. She wanted to break the internet.
Okay, I got caught up with something else. Okay.
Yeah, she wanted to go viral. She wanted to have a viral. Her viral moment was beating the shit out of her grandma on TikTok.
That's great.
You know? Ain't no fucking way. If this
so viral, just beating on your grandma.
That's what I'm saying. If this was if we was ruling, she would have got stoned in front of the congregation.
I'm gonna tell you, my grandma.
Yeah.
Hey, that wouldn't happen.
Hell no.
Hey, my grandma was a cold woman.
Man.
I got put in headlocks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You stole her, be like, boy, what's
man?
They would have had a funeral.
Uncles, cousins, everybody coming to whoop your ass.
You packed up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This nigga done lost his mind. This bitch done lost her mind.
Everybody packed you up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Grandma calling everybody. You know, type, but a harlot. I think it's even worse for the woman. A harlot, her known for her adultery, or I'm gonna say a woman that's committing adultery. Hey, she supposed to get burnt alive, man. You know.
Shit's nasty.
But I'm saying like the repercussions of doing shit like that, you know, bringing shame upon your family.
The thing about it, like when people see that other women in their family, they think it's cool. Like, oh wow, she did it.
Right.
Maybe I should get into that lifestyle.
And there was a younger girl there. There was a younger child there, bro, and just absorbing that. So imagine the impact of her seeing that. She gonna grow up think it's cool just to beat on her elders. You know? Hell no, man. You know, you type of jakes deserve the worst kind of judgment, man. You know what I'm saying? All right. You don't put your hands on your father. You don't put your hands on your mother. You know, you don't do shit like that. All right. Yeah. You better just let them stole on you or whatever to come down to it and take that shit on the chin and move the fuck on.
Take a cold shower. That's it.
Yeah, relax.
Don't even do that.
You know, at least you bring a curse on yourself. And that's when the Most High gonna get you. Yahweh Shai gonna get you. You know. But let's go to back in Ecclesiastes 3, and let's go to verse 9. It says, "For the blessing of the father established." I'm sorry, verse 8 again. It says, "Honor thy father and mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establishes the house of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation." You see? So the curse of the mother, she rooteth out the foundation. You know? All right, because it's the man that what keeps the household together, and how do women view the man as what the sole provider, protector? You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. You know, all right. So you women gotta let the man lead. You know, you gotta let him lead. You gotta let. Hey, that's why you had the black one, the black woman. She had to ask. She had to ask. So how she had to ask a white woman, how do you keep him? You know, yes, I know it's bad when the black woman got to ask the white woman, how do you? And the white woman said, I just let him be a man. He makes the decisions. When he talking, I shut up. It's just that simple. It ain't rocket science, man. Boom, bop, bang. The type of shit I would be on, you wouldn't understand. I'm just like it, but that was it though. Go ahead, bro. Hey, matter of fact, hold on. Let me grab this for the brother on the comment board. It's like, hey, we listen to music too, bros. You know, from the brother Yahawada. I'm sorry, Shahab Yahawada. All right, 1 John 2:15, which these are some of the scriptures I was thinking about too. 1 John 2:15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You see? All right, so you're not supposed to have these worldly ways, you know. All right, the man, he gets on what, one knee, and then he submits himself to the woman. Baby, will you marry me? You know what I'm saying?
And it's bad when they do that crap at like baseball games and all that, and the girls tell them no.
And they tell him no.
Yeah, that's bad, bro. Just like,
That's
and dude probably did. He did so much stuff for her.
Yep.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. You know.
He ain't doing that shit. So he had to order that. He had to go. Hey, no, I'm gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
They going and then she tell him no.
Yeah, he planned it out. He got the ring. You know. But see, that's all that ancient heathenistic customs. You know, because a man is not supposed to submit himself to a woman in that type of fashion. You know. All right. So, and when it comes down to marriage, according to our customs, it's totally different. You know what I'm saying? But when you actually go into the intricacy of marriage, westernized marriage, that stems all the way back into Egypt, which ultimately stems back into the Babylonians. You know what I'm saying? Because in Egypt, they were considering the moon and the sun as symbols of joining themselves together. You know, so it was worshiping of the moon and the sun. That's what the rings represent. You know, when you kind of go back into the origin of it, look it up. All right, where does the origin of wedding rings come from? And it'll tell you the ancient societies that they practice those type of customs, what it meant. You know, so what does America do? They incorporate the things of the ancient societies of the heathens and then resurrect it here, all in one. You know, so you got a queen of heaven worship spirit going on, a man bowing down to the woman. You know, all right, but we ain't the time, brothers, to take your nuts out of your woman's purse. You know, take your manhood back. You know what I'm saying? We're in this truth. You know, it's time for these women to align with us. If you're not on the same page with me, I can't deal with you, and I'm not going to deal with you. And that's just bottom line. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for the games. You know, we got to stand on principles. You know, and we shouldn't be settling for less. You know, fuck that. It's not time for us to be settling. I'm just gonna settle for Keisha. You can settle for Keisha if you want to.
Yeah, they got that spirit that as soon as I get home from work spirit. You know that song? As soon as I get work,
Yeah.
I do your hair. I'm like, bro, you should be doing your hair. Homie.
Yeah, I said shit. You know, god damn. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that nigga cook. That nigga gotta make his own dinner. You know what I'm saying? Baby, you want some? I was thinking about you.
Oh, man. That's burnt out.
Yeah, but go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Just 1-2. Grace be to you and peace from Yahweh our Father and from the Lord Yahushua.
Yep.
Blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahushua, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly peace in Yahushua.
Man, you see, so we're considered blessed, you know. All right, well, what we have is not ordinary knowledge, man. You know, it's so astounding that the basis things could blow your mind at, you know, what we know. You know, the fact that we're now able to mature into men. You know, we're not operating off the frequency of the world anymore. We could look towards our Savior for salvation. We could call on Yahweh Bashim Shah. You know what I'm saying? Pray to the Lord now. All right, we understand the prophecies and things that we know that this is not it for us. All right, we weren't here to grow old and then, you know, our children bear children and just hope that their next life span they figure it out and make it. You know, that is that's depressive as hell to think about. You know what I'm saying? You got children here, but you just passing on debt to them. You don't know if they're going to even be successful in their life. You know, because here we don't have nothing to give. Everything has been completely stripped from us. Okay, so we yearn, we look for what the Lord promised us, which is what? Everlasting life, salvation. You know, a world full of what? Better promises. You know, a kingdom that we can rule in what? Righteousness, and truly establishing our laws in the earth. You know what I'm saying? All right, a place of righteousness where we ain't got to worry about the land being destroyed and polluted. You know, I was looking back over the Amazon rainforest. I think Esau got like 1/5 of the Amazon rainforest burnt down, cut down, and then they said because of that, it's causing more carbon emissions into the world. Yeah, which
Quit messing with the trees and the environment. You got a war with the environment. I don't get it, man.
yeah,
You
nigga,
got to fight with some
bro,
kill up the
anti-life.
What was he killing up the was it is it the when they having a problem with the elephants at one time or it's still like that?
I gotta look into it, but
Yeah, I
I'll
know
look
some
into it.
animal they was gunning them down and I think it was for the tusk. It was
They were trying to, okay.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah. I know they were doing that with the bears though. You got here in California. Shalom, bro, shalom. They got in California you have the Republic flag. So the California Republic flag has the emblem of a bear on it. So when Esau did settle over here, the bears being numerous, they were once eating the livestock of the settlers. So Esau decided to go and murder and genocide all the bears and kind of push them more up north. You know, like you gotta go more towards like Yosemite and shit like that to kind of get more closer to like the wildlife. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna see shit like that out here in Ontario. You ain't gonna see no bear in Ontario. You ain't gonna see no bear in LA. I ain't never heard of a bear attack in LA. I've seen a mountain lion, you know, but that's as far as it goes. Yeah, mountain lions, but I ain't never see. But the bears got pushed back, you know, because Esau slaughtered them.
So right here, I don't know.
You got some?
Well, this is talking about yes, there is a shortage in elephants in Africa, while some areas show signs of population recovery. Overall, elephants' population have declined significantly in the past several decades. The African forest elephant is now listed as critical endangered, while the African savanna elephant is endangered. So I'm pretty sure. I mean, I have to keep looking, but
yeah, kind of going to a little bit deeper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure probably Esau is using them as game.
From what I was understanding back a long time ago, they were trying to get their tusks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, leave them alone, bro. They got families. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Killing up, dude. You just killing up you cutting down the trees for no reason. We need this stuff. You're lying about, oh, well, there's not enough food. We just talked about Nebraska 4-1.
Yep. Oh, the cows. It's 4-1 the men out there.
4-1.
Yep.
I mean, come on, 4-1. And like I said, everybody eat meat.
Yeah.
So it might be even more than that.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know what? I'm gonna get a precept out real fast for you. All right, let me get a precept. Hold on, I spelled that wrong. All right, this is shoot. This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. All right. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Prophesying against what? Esau, Edom. All right. Because Mount Seir also represents these Edomites. Okay. It says, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I was looking at the word.
Yeah. I'm picking up. I was picking up about the health.
Oh, con. It's a good word or something.
Must be conscient. Because it's I'm talking.
Yeah, it's
I think it has something to do with them killing them.
oh, it's all good. If you can't figure it out right now, bro, it's all good. We'll just come back to it when you look into it more, bro. Ezekiel 35 and 3. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. All right. So Esau does have to pay repercussions to what he's doing to the world. You know, the scriptures do say what hurt him who has hurt the earth. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just you know what I'm saying, animals that's just becoming so-called extinct. You know, hey, Esau's using all type of undermining methods to create shit. You know, like he uses the animal for game. He'll go and chop their heads off, stuff them up, preserve them, so that way he can have them as trophies over his fireplace. And he's drinking his scotch. He got the bear as a rug. You know what I'm saying? But it don't even go that far for pellets. You know, because we used to use pellets. You know, like animal skin to stay warm in the winter time. But the thing about Gad is that Gad knew, all right, we only need what is enough to keep us secure and stable. You know, Gad never went overboard. Reuben never went overboard with the slaughtering of the animals and the resource of the landmarks that they was in. You know, but when it come down to Esau, he goes overboard with the slaughtering. You know, all right, he goes overboard with the killing. Hey, it's so bad that what they turn crocodiles into shoes, crocodiles into belts, snakes into shoes. Shit, if you look it up, matter of fact, look this up, bro.
That's why. Go ahead.
Look up human skin as shoes. Look, they even turn niggas into human shoes. You know, all right. Esau and turn niggas into human shoes. All right. Now, hey, who is it? Birth of a Nation, Nat Turner. You know, all right. His body was mutilated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, his body was mutilated, cut into pieces. Skin was used to make clothing and shit. All right, there was a people that done that, and it's still doing it today. Go ahead, bro. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, there are historic and contemporary contemporary on my tongue too. Example of shoes made from human skin.
Look, there are contemporary. What does it say? Examples
of shoes made from human skin.
Human skins. What humans? All right. In order for you to have hue, first and foremost, don't you got to be a person of color, right? That's what hue means, color. All right. And then man, a man of color. All right. You think they're going to the Elamites to turn them into human shoes? The Elamites got colors. That's the so-called East Indians. You know, the Persians got some color to them. You know, the Japhites got some color to them. All right. Who do you think they coming the most for? They coming for Jakes, man. Snatching Jakes off the street. You know, Jakes that you'll never care or consider. That's homeless out here. You know, all right, that you will never miss. They snatching them up. You know, you using their body to make fucking human shoes, man. You know what I'm saying? That's torture. That's hatred right there. And who they do it to our people, man? Oh, you want to show up? Yeah, show it. Show that, bro. There it is. And that looked like a shoe that a Jake would go out stepping in. You know what I mean? All right. Jake like to throw on the classic joints like the Stacy Adams and things like that to go out stepping. But Esau was wearing shoes like that, and they were skins of niggas, skins of jakes. You don't think the devil got to pay for that? You don't think somebody got to pay for that? Read some more into it, bro. Is there some more into it? Read some more into it, brother. What? Jake is short for Jacob. Okay. So Jacob, which is on that sign of the children of Israel. Go ahead, bro.
A notable example involves shoes made from the skin of outlaw Big Nose George in Wyoming, which were worn by the state's governor at an ordinary ball.
And wait, the state's governor?
Yeah.
Big Nose George in Wyoming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a governor.
Yeah. It said which were worn by the state's governor at his organ ball.
Inaugurable. Which in augur, meaning to what? Go back into witchcraft. So a lot of these Edomites are high level sorcerers, and they probably you don't get to see their feet when they at an inauguration.
And it said and are now on display.
See, it could be President Trump with some nigga skin shoes on.
Wouldn't even know. You know him. He got the little cup sipping.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, man, come on.
You know, make mockery of Jake. Everything about this society makes mockery of Jake, man. The White House.
You know, Jake. Hey, my nigga, I like your shoes.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's nigga shit.
Yeah, you're stupid. You're an idiot. You know? But the White House, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Israelites built that, you know? And they named it the White House to make mockery of Jake. Even though Jake built it. You know, matter of fact, bro, that shit on that, but go to Micah 2. Let's start at the top on Micah 2, you know? All right? Jake built that, man. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at, you got people that you could look on YouTube, right? YouTube, and then they'll show you the back of a $20 bill, I want to say. And I want to say that's the White House, if I'm not mistaken. And they got a Jake that's hanging from the front of the chandelier. All right, and then they got Jake's head that is in the pillars. And you got a magnifying glass to see all that shit. You know? All right, and then in front of those big houses down south, what were they doing to Jake? They got certain terminology. Pick nicks come from pick a nigga that was getting out of line, right? That didn't meet his quota. They would go sip tea, poured by Jake, another Jake, all right? And the Jake that was getting ready, that got lashed, he got hung right in front of him and then burnt alive. You know what I'm saying? All for what? Their amusements. You mean to tell me that Esau ain't got to pay for the atrocities of the children of Israel? All right? That's why if you know about this children, you should be praying on the downfall of this fucking place, man. You know, this place has been built and predicated off of bloodshed and violence and hate. You know, talking about the white man don't hate. You should save the white man. You should love the white man. I know the only ones that we got love for are the brothers that may look like a so-called white man. You know, but they are Israelites. You know. All right.
Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Just because it's in the power of their hand, they practice these things. You know what I'm saying? Practice how to overthrow people, how to ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say that Esau don't sleep unless they cause some to fall. You know? So they got think tanks to help them destroy people. Ethnocide culture. They set up Jake-ass plants. You know? Give you a culture that's not yours, manufacture it, and then have you fucking go and display it to the world. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get Suki Hana Sexy Reds. You know what I'm saying? Kim Kardashians. You know, Lil Kim, shit, even Monique, she was part of the fucking problem back in the day too. You know, all right, Monique was used by the goddamn small hat 1948er to push that whole fat is fabulous, not fat as FAT, but they switched it up the word of it because the PH makes a F sound. You know, so fat as in so-called being fabulous when Nothing is fabulous about you being morbidly obese. Nothing is fabulous about you being out of shape, out of weight, you know? You got all type of health problems. Nothing is fabulous about that, you know? And then they want to build a fucking 12-foot black woman statue out in, what, New York? You know? And then here it is. Monique, she done got skinny on you, black woman. She played you. All for what? Money. She sold you out. You know?
Even the other girl,
I know you're talking about, fuck. I mean, Slaki, excuse my language. If a brother know her name, I forget the other chick. I know her name though.
Current.
Yeah, she current. Yeah, yeah. It's on the tip of my brain, but I can't say it right now. You know, but even her too. You know, she got skinny.
She's slimming down.
Yeah.
And she posing on the internet trying to show her new body.
Yeah. See?
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Artificial foods and shit. You know. All this shit is contaminated and destroying us. All perpetuated by the devil, man. You know. But go ahead, brother, because it's in the power of his hand to do so, man. You know, just because he got the power to take your life, he can do it. And then who's gonna say anything against him? Who's gonna apprehend him? You can't send no military against Esau, against the elites, raid their private homes. These motherfuckers got private not cities but private lands. They got private lands that they make their own rules at. They got their own laws there. They're governed by their own selves. You know? Ain't nobody invading Esau. Esau's living his life. Show you that he's got to be the pinnacle of the world. He's got to be the one that's ruling over the world. You know? All right? But that's why I see when the Lord comes, he going to get you fucking devils, man. You know? Because you got a lot to pay for. Go ahead, brother.
Micah 2:2. And they cover fields and take them by violence.
Yep. And was that not written in the curses? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. You know, we was gonna plant but not enjoy the fruits of the field. Here it is. You got Benjamin. You know, all right, which is the so-called West Indians and Jamaicans. They got sugar canes out in their land. They got beautiful lands too. All right. And I want to say you had the British fighting against the I want to say it was either the Spanish or the French, you know, to take over that territory. So you have plantation owners over there, Edomites, that was suppressing them. All right, and you had one slave by the name of Derby, where he got caught eating sugar cane. He just, you know, Jake is hungry. Jake out in the field, sugar cane sweet, looking good. Yeah. You know,
feel good, like damn, it feels so good.
Man, getting the juice from it.
Yeah, smiling, you know
right.
What I'm saying? Juice and slaughter.
You know what I'm saying? And he probably got told on by another fucking Jake. A fucking Sambo, man. Cause you know niggas do that, man. Jake, oh, hey, master ain't gonna, but just to get notoriety.
Oh,
hey, see, master, I'm for you. I wouldn't do nothing like that. They rebellious, master. Like the character Samuel Jackson played off of Django. He said, "Who's that nigga on that nine?" You know?
He died. He died. He died for his master.
He died. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you probably had another Jake that seen Derby, and then he probably told on him. Look, man, he ate the cane. Derby ended up getting whipped, lashed, and then to add salt to injury. They squeezed some type of like pepper or lemon into his swords. Burning, turned them over, and then had another slave defecate in his mouth. All because he was hungry for sugar cane. But that's a sign of, you know, Jake will cultivate but never get to reap the benefits of what we planted. Who got the benefit off that? The Edomites did. You know, they got to cut down the sugar canes and sell them and make profit off them. You know, all right. Who got to profit off the cotton picking? Esau did, and that was you know, because eventually later on Jake became what, crop sharers, you know, where they was able to work for the master for some type of money, you know, picking cotton. Eventually Jake got to start making money, but still that was just still a form of Jake being integrated into a capitalist society. You know, it was never for Jake's benefit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because Esau always moves with a demonic evil purpose. Oh, I'm gonna give you niggas money, but he's never telling you the scheme behind the money that he's allowing you to make. You know? Because think about what's the employee. You know, that's still a master and a slave relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same shit today. Esau just hide behind certain terminologies and words, man. You know? But where was we at? You get the sugar water, brother. Get you freshen up.
I read
No rush, no rush.
Micah 2:2. And they cover fields and take them by violence in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Yep, oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. You know, all right. Everything belongs to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's truly how they feel. And they got laws. You know, like even your house. Let's say you do pay off your house, and you paying what, property taxes. You know, but they, if you don't pay that property tax, what can they do? They can seize your house because of the land that it's on. They own the land. You know, same thing with your car. You got the pink slip to your car. You know what I'm saying? But then if really what Esau does, and I'm gonna just say this in a simple term, what Esau does, he makes you go get a driver's license. And when you show the police, when they ask you, when they pull you over, give me your driver's license and registration. Well, when you hand them your license, you're committing to you're telling them that you're committing to commerce. So you're transporting a product. They don't tell you this in law, you know. But when you kind of look into the straw man goes into the reason why your name on your license is in all capital letters is because that's not really you. You represent you represent the corporation. So your straw man becomes the cargo or the entity that you're transporting. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as you hand the officer your license, you're saying, yeah, I'm executing my rights to transfer the cargo, which is yourself. But they don't tell you that in law. You know, certain laws that they hide from Jakes, and they know that Jake's not going to go and learn these things for themselves. You know, all right, because not saying you should be like, I ain't got to eat my ID. And they just say, show me your license and registration. You know, when they commit an investigation, just showing them for them to write down what they're investigating is all their job to do. Now, you didn't define nothing. I ain't saying you to define nothing, you know. But if Jake knew the law and knew about certain things that Esau hides, that's right in front of him, man, this society would have got turned over overnight. Like taxes. Taxes is fraudulent. If people knew about that, they was being frauded by taxes. You know, and Esau said it. He said if they knew that we were frauding them, the people will rise up and rebel against us. You know, Esau said that out of his own mouth. So I ain't making this shit up. You know what I'm saying?
You see a lot of stuff.
Yeah. People are just too stupid to look things up. You know, you got to educate yourself. You got to learn about these things. Because if you don't, what do? They use it against you. You know, and then you have no defense for yourself. Just like the Jake that he killed the Edomite for busting in his crib. That's self-defense. You know? So there's no way that he should be going, even though he got locked up, but he should be able to beat his case. Because if somebody breaks into your house, you have the right to defend yourself.
It shouldn't be well, if he turned his back, I think that's a California law. They break in, they turn like, so a person like, well, let me turn around. Boom.
Right.
From the I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. He's up in your tilt.
Yeah.
You don't know what he was gonna do. We could have raped you.
I know it's one of those. It's like is it when you turn your back or when you look back? Oh, when you turn your back. Okay.
If you're forward, it's like,
Oh, okay.
Okay. From my understanding.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you turn around, it's like, well, now he had his back turned.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, bro, he's in your house. What do you mean he got his back turned?
Yeah. See the loophole?
That sounds dumb.
Yeah. Hey, Jake, they give you loopholes and shit for you to, if your back turned, but it should be you in my crib. You know?
Or he run up the house, you can't do that. It's like, shit.
Right.
He's up the house now, so you're gonna call the cops now.
And just because he's a Jake Just because he's a Jake, they're going to try to throw football numbers at him, and because he killed the Edomite.
If I'm mistaken, that was on Boys in the Hood with Furious. Somebody broke up in there, and he was shooting at him. Dude got out the house.
Yeah.
But the cop came. This was when Trey was little.
Okay.
The cop came, and then he was like talking to the dad. But then later, Trey got pulled over. Yeah. And that's when he had him on the car. Oh, you one of them rolling 60 bulls. You remember that was here, right?
Yeah. I ain't seen it in a minute. Yeah.
The same cop.
Okay, God. I'm gonna come back to this. Well, hold that. I got a quick precept real fast. I'm gonna come back to also Ezekiel 35. But let me go to Isaiah chapter 10. Let's go to Isaiah 10. I'm gonna go there real fast and read that before we continue on. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed." You see? So the enemy, he prescribes way for Esau to get out of, and then it benefits them, but it doesn't benefit Jacob, All right, that's why laws change, penal codes are added, you know what I'm saying? All right, but yeah, Jake should be getting off on that shit, man. But see, the Lord got the spirit of who shall rouse him up, just like that other, like you was mentioning, the Jake boy, he got shot in the back, but they try to say that he had a gun, but coming out, he didn't have no gun. And his father said, fuck it. He put the pedal to the metal and right into Esau ass, All right? And nah, but that's the spirit though, All right, so that spirit of arousing Jacob is here. Yeah.
So we do the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, that movie American Skin is a good movie to watch.
But the thing about Esau can do it, it's all great,
It's exactly. Show you that who got the power. White supremacy is real.
That's there's in the Bible.
Yeah.
They cover it. It's like, you don't understand that yet? Hey, man, I don't know. Keep studying. I don't know.
Yep. And then even to go further, remember the hedge that the Most High put over Cain. You know what I'm saying? If you was to kill Cain, I believe it says you will get sevenfold. So if you try to take an Edomite out, you're gonna get sevenfold upon you.
There's no right. There it is right there.
You know what I'm saying? So